I stormed into the party my wife, Mia, was having with her first love, Ethan. Without a word, I grabbed a glass of wine and threw it right in Ethan's face. With other people around, Mia couldn't make a scene, so she just pulled him away to the restroom to get cleaned up. According to the plot of the book I'm in, she's supposed to ask for a divorce because of my outrageous behavior. After that, I just need to harass her a few more times until she's completely disgusted with me, and then I'll have successfully completed my mission and earned a $1 billion prize. The thought of becoming a billionaire made it impossible to wipe the smile off my face. Someone at our table kindly asked, "Mike, are you okay? You seem a little worked up." I quickly composed myself, putting on a tragic expression. That's when Mia pushed the door open and came back in. I rolled my eyes, crossed my arms, and asked arrogantly, "I barely touched him. Was it really worth making such a big deal out of it? Mia, have you forgotten that I'm your husband?" Mia stared at me, her expression unreadable and her eyes dark. Inside, though, I was getting excited. "Come on, curse me out. Then warn me that if I ever dare to bully your precious first love again, you'll destroy me." Mia first asked her other friends to leave, then walked over to me and said calmly, "I was just showing concern for a friend. Don't get the wrong idea." What? That's not how the script is supposed to go. I steeled myself, smashed a glass on the floor, and sneered, "Let me tell you something. Don't think for a second that just because Ethan's back, you two can live happily ever after. You want a divorce? Over my dead body." Inside, however, I was starting to feel uneasy. "I'm acting this crazy, and you're still putting up with it. Hurry up. Ask for a divorce, and slap me in the face with the papers you've already drawn up. You and your first love belong together, so don't hold me back for my billion-dollar reward." To my surprise, Mia just smiled, her eyes fixed on me with a curious amusement. "Honey, where's your mind going? I love you. Why would I ever divorce you?" I froze on the spot, completely thunderstruck. What is happening? Isn't she supposed to be madly in love with him? Something must have gone wrong in the sequence of events. Let me think. As I stood there frowning, Mia closed the distance between us, wrapped her arms around my waist, and snuggled against my chest. I went completely rigid, my senses filled with her sweet fragrance. She laughed softly and said, "Honey, I know I haven't been fair to you in the past. From now on, I want to be with you for the rest of our lives." "No, you got it all wrong. I'm just a villainous side character. Your first love, Ethan, is the one you're supposed to end up with." 3 years ago, I was transported into this melodramatic romance novel, cast as the villainous side character in love with a female lead, Mia. I took advantage of the void left by her first love and married her. The plot dictates that after he returns, I'll use every dirty trick in the book to keep them apart, only to have it all blow up in my face. Then the main characters get to live happily ever after. To complete my mission and get that billion-dollar prize, I've been working my tail off, never slacking for a moment. I've even been acting more despicably than the original script called for. For 3 years, everything went according to plan. I was Mia's devoted doormat, and she was an impenetrable fortress, her heart always belonging to her first love, utterly disgusted by my every move. That is, until 3 days before Ethan was due to return. Mia went hiking, took a fall, and hit her head, knocking her into a coma. When she woke up, something was different. She came home and burned everything that had to do with Ethan, and now her attitude toward him seems nothing like the passionate devotion described in the book. Was my performance today that bad? Did Mia see through my act? No way. You can question anything else, but not my acting skills. Even the system, which has been silent for ages, once praised my natural talent for playing the villain, saying sometimes it wanted to punch me itself. If it's not my fault, then it must be Ethan's. He just hasn't suffered enough yet. "Honey, why aren't you answering me?" Mia pressed her entire body against me, her hands stealthily slipping inside my shirt. I tensed up and grabbed her wandering hand to stop it. "Didn't you used to avoid me like the plague? This is about to get an R rating. I'm not exactly experienced with love scenes." Then again, Mia is gorgeous with perfect skin, a tiny waist, and long legs. If things went there, I wouldn't exactly be losing out. "What's wrong?" she chuckled, lightly nipping at my Adam's apple. "Can't control yourself?" I was screaming on the inside. Mia frowned and pressed her lips to mine. "You're so loud," she murmured. Thump, thump, thump. The only sound was my own heartbeat. Just as Mia was about to deepen the kiss, the door to our private room swung open. Ethan was standing there, his face pale and his expression grim. A perfect opportunity. I pulled Mia in by the waist and gave her a deep, messy kiss before turning to look at him defiantly. "Ethan, who the hell do you think you are? I'm the one who's married to her." The hero finally arrives. "Just watch how I'm going to make your life miserable." Ethan just stood there, biting his lip, looking like a kicked puppy. "Mia," he said, his voice full of hurt, All those times you chased after me, telling me you loved me, was all of that a lie? I was young and naive back then, Mia replied, her tone icy. I was a poor judge of character. Her coldness only confused me more. The Mia from the novel was supposed to be hopelessly devoted to Ethan, convinced he was the only one for her. Mia, I know you're angry with me, but I had my reasons. I was thinking about you every single day I was away. I came back hoping I could make up for my mistakes, and maybe we could. I'm married now. Mia cut in, her voice sharp. She cut him off without a shred of pity. He clutched his chest and began to cough, looking utterly pathetic. Mia gave me a light tap on the arm and muttered, "What are you staring at?" Without even glancing his way again, she continued, "As you can see, my husband and I are very happy together. I only came to this dinner tonight out of politeness to an old friend who invited me. My husband has a bit of a temper and gets jealous easily, and I don't want to give him the wrong idea. Has Mia lost her mind? This is the guy you've been obsessed with for 3 years. Please, I'm begging you, just get back together with him so I can finish my part and collect my money." My mind was racing, but then Mia pinched my side and shot me a glare. I let out a little yelp, which, from Ethan's perspective, probably just looked like we were flirting. He took a deep, shaky breath, looking like he was about to fall apart. "Mia, are you serious?" he asked. "Have you forgotten the tricks he pulled to force you into marrying him 3 years ago?" Mia looked up, an amused expression on her face. "Speaking of that," she said, "I've been meaning to ask you. You always said you loved me, but when my family's business was failing and I needed you most, where were you?" Ethan was left completely speechless. Mia took my hand and started leading me toward the door. As we passed him, Ethan grabbed her wrist, his eyes red-rimmed. "Mia, please, just give me one more chance," he pleaded, his voice trembling. But Mia let go of my hand, calmly pried his fingers from her wrist, and replied coldly, "I'm not the kind of person who goes back for seconds. Mr. Carter, please have some self-respect." Ethan just stood there, looking utterly defeated. I was stunned too. How had the plot gone so completely off the rails? Alarm bells were screaming in my head. Don't tell me Mia has actually fallen in love with me. How am I supposed to complete my mission now? Okay, don't panic. This type of heroine always says one thing, but feels another. These two are so melodramatic. Without me pushing them apart, they'd probably fall apart on their own anyway. Mia clicked her tongue in annoyance. "Stop worrying about him and pay attention to me." In the back of the car, Mia's hands started wandering again, her warm breath tickling my neck. I tried to push her away, whispering, "The driver's right there." She just laughed. "Then you'd better be quiet." With that, her hand drifted lower. I gasped and grabbed her wrist. What is wrong with her? Did she take some kind of pill? She used to look at me with such a dead expression it would kill any mood instantly. Sometimes I can't help but think the heroine is blind, passing up a handsome 6'1" guy like me for that fickle jerk. Mia's expression flickered for a second, but then she was back to being playful. "You know, I just realized today how handsome you are. Way better than Ethan." I puffed out my chest proudly. Obviously, my smugness made her laugh. And for the record, I'm perfectly sober. I haven't taken anything. I know exactly what I'm doing. I found that very strange. Mia is just a character in a novel. She doesn't have any superpowers. So why does it feel like she can read my mind? At that thought, I forced myself to relax and quickly change the subject. "You hit your head a few days ago. The doctor said you need a rest, so we should probably call a night." She gave me a thoughtful look, then nodded after a moment. I finally let out a breath of relief. She must have scrambled her brains when she fell. She'll be back to normal in a few days. The next day, I went to Mia's office. I wasn't surprised at all to find Ethan waiting in the conference room, and I raised an eyebrow at him. It looked like yesterday was just a fluke. The plot was back on track. He spoke up suddenly. "I didn't get a good look yesterday. Seeing you now, you really do look a lot like me." Ah, the classic "you're just my replacement" trope. I knew this one well. He was trying to get a rise out of me. I played my part and flew into a rage, pointing a finger at him. "You think you can compare to me? I'm her husband. You're nothing but the other man. The person who isn't loved is the third wheel," he shot back. "And you know better than anyone who Mia really loves." I had to admit, the guy was good at pushing buttons. I grabbed him by the collar and raised my fist as if to punch him, just as I heard the click-clack of high heels approaching. Ethan shot me a knowing smirk and then dramatically threw himself backward. He sent a tea set flying, and the corner of the table dug into his back, drawing blood. What a two-faced performance. I didn't even have to lift a finger. He did the whole routine himself. A second later, Mia's shocked voice cut through the air. "What's going on?" Ethan, wincing in pain, quickly said, "Mia, it was an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault." I knew my cue. I hardened my expression and said, "I pushed him." "What's the matter, Mia? Does it hurt you to see him like this? And if I ever see you harassing my wife again, I'll beat you every single time." I snarled. His eyes welled up with tears, and his hands at his sides were clenched into tight fists. How could Mia not feel her heart break for him seeing that? Okay, this is where Mia is supposed to finally blow up at me. I just assaulted her precious first love. If she can still tolerate this, she's not human. But as I was thinking this, Mia just gestured to her assistant, who came in to help Ethan up. Then, Mia wrapped her arm around mine and said sweetly, "Whatever my husband says goes." Both Ethan and I were completely floored. Ethan clearly wasn't ready to give up, looking reluctant as the assistant led him away. I wasn't about to let the opportunity pass either, so I added more fuel to the fire. "You see that, Ethan? Stop dreaming. A little twig like you had better learn to take a detour when you see me, or next time I push you. You might just snap in half." Ethan stopped in his tracks, as if suddenly remembering something. He grabbed Mia's sleeve and said in a pained voice, "Mia, there's something I came back to tell you. I have stomach cancer. The doctors say I have 3 months to live, at most. The terminal illness is obviously fake, but it's a classic move. This has to make her feel sorry for him." Sure enough, Mia froze. "Really?" she asked. Ethan nodded with a bitter smile. "Look at me. I'm wasting away." I immediately chimed in. "I can vouch for that." He goes down with one push. Mia shot me an unreadable glance. I cleared my throat, seeing the perfect excuse for an exit. "Well, in that case, I'm not so petty as to stand in the way. You two should talk. I have things to do, so I'll see myself out." Inside, I was ecstatic. They finally have some time alone. "Ethan, you better not screw this up. Win her over with that famous charm of yours. Just waiting on that divorce. $1 billion, here I come." And this time, Ethan didn't let me down. The very next day, a video of him and Mia going into an apartment building together was trending on Twitter. Thanks to her image as a beautiful and powerful businesswoman, Mia has always been popular on social media. Her tragic, unfinished romance with her childhood sweetheart was a frequent topic of nostalgic discussion among her followers. On top of that, videos of me throwing wine on Ethan at the club and the incident at the office had also been leaked online. There were reporters camped outside my house, and they swarmed me the second I stepped outside. One reporter asked, "Mr. Miller, do you have any comment on the situation between your wife and Ethan Carter?" I dutifully played my role as the obstacle to true love and answered bitterly, "It's an affair. One is a cheater, and the other is a homewrecker. What else is there to say?" The reporter pressed on, "But we've heard that you used manipulative tactics to marry Ms. Thompson in the first place. Now that her true love has returned, and they make such a perfect couple, don't you think you're being unfair by emotionally blackmailing her to stay?" I kept a stony expression, but inwardly I was giving this reporter a big thumbs up. Everyone in our circle knows that Ethan abandoned Mia when she was at her lowest, leaving her completely alone. Are you telling me you didn't know that? My question caught her off guard, but she recovered and asked, "It's common knowledge that you and Ms. Thompson have a strained relationship. You've never even celebrated an anniversary together. Why are you so desperate to hold on to a marriage that's clearly over?" "I don't." I screamed in my head, but on the outside, I had to stay in character. I gave a cold snort and walked away without another word, cultivating the image of a stubborn, lonely man. Clips from that interview went viral almost immediately. The comments were brutal. "This guy is disgusting. He took advantage of her when she was vulnerable and tricked her into marriage, and now he's playing the victim. He's nothing compared to Ethan, who is Mia's true love." The two people actually involved haven't said a word, but he's out here making a scene like a pathetic clown. Why hasn't Mia spoken up? I can't wait to see her put him in his place. Things have gotten this ugly, and he still won't agree to a divorce. He's probably just after her money. So shameless. I scrolled through the endless comments, tearing me apart, feeling a little conflicted. I thought about my 3 years playing the part of the devoted husband. I really have been attentive to Mia's every need. If she didn't want to go on a date, I'd wait for hours outside her office just to see her. If she got drunk, I was the one who drove her home. She always scheduled business trips to avoid our anniversary, so I'd fly to whatever city she was in and just wait until she ran out of excuses. We'd have a quick dinner, and then I'd catch the first flight home the next morning. If I didn't have this omniscient perspective, it would be genuinely heartbreaking to pour your heart out for someone and get nothing in return. But instead of mourning the tragic fate of this side character, I should be celebrating the fact that my mission is almost complete. According to the book, my character's final act is to make a fool of himself after Mia and Ethan get back together. I'm supposed to try and turn public opinion against Ethan, only to get viciously cyber-bullied myself and then disappear in disgrace. It looks like they've already reconciled, and I'm getting dragged online, which means mission completion is right around the corner. I almost wish people would hate on me even more. the more despicable I seemed, the more sympathy the public would have for Ethan. Mia called me and asked cautiously if I was upset by all the negative comments online. I sniffled for effect and then snarled, "Mia, cut the act. I'm telling you, as long as I'm in the picture, Ethan will never be anything more than your dirty little secret." I could hear Ethan's muffled voice in the background. "Mia, just being with you like this is enough for me." A fresh wave of excitement washed over me. Whoa, they're already living together? Not bad, Ethan. "Mia, just divorce me already. Your signature on those divorce papers is the only thing standing between me and $1 billion. Suddenly, Mia's voice sharpened with anger. "What did you just say?" I hung up without a second thought. That would surely make her even more furious. Furious enough to finally divorce me. Perfect. But 3 days passed, and Mia didn't even come home, let alone mention a divorce. I figured Ethan wasn't pulling his weight, and I'd have to take matters into my own hands again. An idea struck me. I created a new social media account and fired off 3 posts. That's right, it's me, Mike Miller. Anyone who wants to hate on me, line up. You think cyberbullying me is going to make me back down? True love is bullshit. I'm going to stay married to Mia for the rest of our lives. Let's see who gives up first. Ha ha ha. Mia, you want to live happily ever after with your first love? In your dreams. Ethan, you're a worthless parasite. Why don't you just drop dead? Just like that. I fanned the flames of the scandal into a raging inferno. My phone number got leaked, and suddenly I was flooded with calls, texts, and even random money transfers. I switched my phone to airplane mode, which caused me to miss Mia's public statement. Early the next morning, the landline rang. It was my assistant telling me to check Twitter's trending topics immediately. "Mr. Miller, you finally picked up. Ms. Thompson just announced that you're going to be a father." My brain short-circuited. I scrambled to open Mia's Twitter profile. Last night, she had posted an ultrasound picture with a caption, "My husband is just scared of losing me," which is why he's been acting out on social media. Please be understanding. Our relationship is stronger than ever, and we're excited to welcome a new life into our family. We will absolutely not be getting a divorce. I ask everyone to please be respectful and stop spreading false rumors, or I will not hesitate to take legal action. This blew the whole story wide open. After a full night, Mia's name and mine were still the #1 trending topic. No one could have imagined that the same Mia, who was always posting vague, nostalgic things about her past, would be having a baby with me and publicly declaring her love for me. Well, I guess that makes Ethan the actual other man. He seems like the real manipulator here. It's over, folks. The first love turned out to be a villain, and the second lead gets the girl. A happy ending. We all thought he was crazy, but he was playing the long game. I've got nothing else to say. I wish them the best. This completely threw me for a loop. This part wasn't in the book. I rushed straight to Mia's office. She was sitting at her desk reviewing some files and looked up at me, perfectly calm. "You don't have to thank me," she said. "We're family." It's the least I could do. My chest was heaving, and I was screaming internally. Thank her for what? Divorce. I want a divorce. What's this about a baby? I demanded. Aside from that one weird night, I hadn't touched her in 3 years. There was no way she could be pregnant. She just smiled, tilting her head and batting her eyelashes. "Just because we don't have one now doesn't mean we won't in the future. You've always wanted to have a baby with me, haven't you?" I was stunned into silence. What kind of villainous side character would I be if I didn't want to possess the heroine for myself? I was just playing a part. How could you actually believe it? Mia stood up and walked over to me, stroking my cheek. "Honey," she said, her voice full of emotion. "I could truly realize now that I was wrong. You're the one who has always been good to me. From now on, I'll love you just as much as you've loved me. I'll protect you. You're not allowed to go anywhere." On the outside, I looked moved. "Mia, I've waited so long to hear you say that." Inside, I was panicking. Mia's really in love with me? She's really in love with me. What do I do? Is my $1 billion just gone? Just then, there was a commotion at the door. Ethan burst in, pushing past the assistant who was trying to stop him. "You refused to see me, so I had to let myself in." Mia rolled her eyes and scoffed. "What's the matter? Done pretending you're terminally ill." Man, if this guy's acting skills were half as good as mine, he would have won her over ages ago. I left with the assistant, giving the two of them space to be alone again. This was it. It was now or never. Just to be safe, I hid outside the door to listen in. Ethan lowered his head, his fists clenching at his sides. "It was wrong of me to lie," he said, his voice full of resentment. "But I only did it because I love you so much." "Are you really having a baby with Mike? I thought you loved me." "Mr. Carter," Mia said, her voice devoid of any warmth, "I believe I've made myself perfectly clear. I love my husband, and I want to have his children. Your recent actions have made me furious, especially planting those stories with the reporters to slander him. If it weren't for our shared history, you wouldn't even be standing here right now." "Mia, Is that really how you see me? Ethan asked with a bitter, wounded expression. It's been 3 years, and you've changed so much. How can you believe Mike? Don't you know what kind of person he is? He's been targeting me from the start, and now you're helping him. Please, don't let him fool you. Ethan had a point. According to Mia's character profile in the book, she's supposed to trust him unconditionally and despise a villain like me. So why was she defending me now? Are you done? Mia pulled out a checkbook, wrote something down, and slid it across the desk to him. Did you really think I didn't know what you were up to? You abandoned me when my family's business collapsed, and now that I've rebuilt it, you come crawling back for a handout. Let me tell you, life doesn't work that way. Take this $50 million and get out of my sight. What was going on? That $50 million was supposed to be my severance package when she divorced me. I'm the one who's supposed to be told to get out, not him. Ethan, be a man and refuse it. But apparently, Ethan wasn't much of a man. He hesitated for a second, then took the check. But then, right in front of Mia, he tore it in half. Mia, it doesn't matter if you don't believe me now, he declared. I'll find a way to make you believe me. He stormed toward the door, and I didn't have time to get out of the way. We collided, and he glared at me, his eyes red with fury. The next day, Mia received a message that both of us had been kidnapped. The actors I hired to play the kidnappers told us, everything is going according to plan. Mia has already left the house with the ransom. Ethan was still skeptical. She'll never choose to save me. I don't see the point of this whole setup. And that's why you'll never win her over, I said, rolling my eyes. Right now, I'm the only one who can help you. In reality, this was all part of my grand plan to fake my own death. With me out of the picture, maybe Mia and Ethan would finally have a chance to be together. Mia arrived very quickly. Let them go, she said. I'll agree to any of your conditions. The lead kidnapper delivered his line as planned. Sorry, Ms. Thompson, you can only save one of them. Make your choice. What? That's not what you said on the phone. Mia's face went pale. Enough talk, the kidnapper shouted, sticking to the script. Make a choice, or I'll kill them both. Mia's expression was grave. Just give me a moment to think. I shot Ethan a look. He got the message and put on a heart-wrenching performance of a man ready to sacrifice himself for love. Mia, I know you won't choose me. Just let me die. I wish you and Mike a lifetime of happiness. He even managed to squeeze out a few tears. I had to admit, when it came to playing the victim, I was no match for Ethan. The kidnapper turned to me. Mr. Miller? Any last words? Mia's eyes were locked on me. I gave her a small smile. Mia, I guess I won't be able to be with you anymore. Goodbye. And right on cue, the warehouse around us began to tremble. The building's collapsing. Run! One of the actors shouted, the first to react. Mia grabbed my arm and started pulling me toward the exit, with Ethan right behind us. Just as we reached the doorway, I wrenched my hand free from Mia's grasp and gave Ethan a hard shove forward, pushing him out to safety. I saw the look of disbelief on her face as I was swallowed by the dust and the roar of the collapsing building. The last thing I heard was her desperate, soul-shattering scream. Mike! Of course I wasn't dead. I had chosen this warehouse specifically and planted some small explosives in the basement. Once they went off, the structure became unstable. I had also prepared a hidden escape tunnel near the entrance. It looked like I was buried in the rubble, but I had actually slipped away underground. After my successful escape, I threw my head back and yelled at the sky. I'm finally free. At that exact moment, the system's voice chimed in my head. Host, are you happy? The voice startled me, and I immediately started cursing. You finally decide to show your face again. Now hurry up and give me my $1 billion. The funds have already been transferred to your account, the system replied. You haven't answered my question. Of course I'm happy. I'm finally done with this ridiculous melodrama. Do you have any idea how hard it's been holding all this in for 3 years? Still, I felt a tiny pang of guilt about me. I had deceived her, after all, but I had chosen the $1 billion. I comforted myself by thinking that any sane person would have made the same choice. Besides, she and Ethan were probably already rekindling their romance. I spent the next few months living a life of leisure. To make a clean break, I instructed the system not to give me any updates on Mia or Ethan. One day, the system piped up again. Host, do you think Mia is the type of person to give up easily? I shook my head. If she gave up easily, she wouldn't have been hung up on Ethan for all those years. Wait a minute, I said. You're not trying to hint at something, are you? You're overthinking it. Host, the system replied. I leaned back in my hammock, squinting at the sun and swinging my legs. I'm already dead. The plan was flawless. Even if Mia knew, what could she do? It's a big world. How would she ever find me? The words were barely out of my mouth when a woman's voice spoke from right behind me. Mike, you made me look for a very long time. I yelped and fell right out of the hammock. What the hell is happening? Why didn't the stupid system warn me? System, host, you instructed me not to provide updates. After the accident, Mia had the entire site excavated, but never found a body. She never believed you were dead, and she's been searching for you ever since. Mia walked toward me, a slow smile spreading across her face. What do I do? What do I do? Good grief. What did I ever do to deserve this? Is this how a main character is supposed to act? Maybe I can just pretend I don't know her. There are plenty of people in the world who look alike. I was about to open my mouth, but Mia stopped me, pressing a finger to my lips. Thinking of pretending you don't know me? I'd give up on that idea if I were you. I'd recognize you even if you were nothing but ashes. How does she know what I'm thinking? Mia stood up straight, looking down at me. Ever since I hit my head on that hike, she said, I've been able to read your mind. She frowned. Mike, stop your inner monologue. It's deafening. I didn't believe her. Mia is a huge liar. Her face darkened, and her voice grew stern. Say that one more time. Okay, fine. She could really read my mind. No wonder she'd been acting so differently since she woke up. Did that mean she'd heard every single one of my schemes and thoughts? This was so embarrassing. I thought I was such a brilliant actor, but she'd been playing me the whole time. I have a question, I said. Go ahead. Why the sudden change of heart? You didn't just decide you had to have me because you thought hearing my inner thoughts was fun, did you? She began to speak slowly. When I was in the coma, I had a dream. I dreamed that after Ethan came back, I did everything I could to be with him, and I despised you. You tried to warn me that he wasn't a good person, but I ignored you. I finally got what I wanted and ended up with him, only to discover he was just using me. He cheated, and eventually, he and his mistress conspired to have me killed. After I died, you were the only person who visited my grave year after year. When I woke up and realized everything was happening exactly as it did in the dream, I knew it wasn't just a dream. It was a memory from my past life. Mike, you're the one I should have been cherishing all along. What the system? Get out here and explain this. Why is her version of the story different from mine? The system was silent. Mia just smiled. Don't bother calling for it. I told it to get lost. Mike, I know everything you know now. You can't win against me. She looked beautiful when she was this determined. I scratched my head, but I'm just a villainous side character. You're supposed to be with the hero, Ethan. I can't steal the hero's girl. I mumbled, my voice trailing off. Mia's voice softened. My life is my own to write, not something dictated by a script. For the past 3 years, even though I never showed it, my heart was slowly falling. I've been in love with you for a long time, Mike. You're the only leading man in my life. Let's stop letting some stupid plot control us, okay? Besides, she added with a smirk, it's only $1 billion. I can give you double. The sun was warm, Mia's smile was radiant, and for some reason, I found myself nodding. Of course, there was also the small fact that who in their right mind would turn down $2 billion? Then it's a deal, Mia said, leaning her head on my shoulder. If you try to run away again, I won't be so nice. My mind immediately started racing with new thoughts. Mia gritted her teeth. Are you thinking what I think you're thinking? I forgot she could hear me. I quickly started reciting nursery rhymes in my head to block my thoughts. By the 50th repetition of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Mia couldn't stand it anymore. You recite that one more time, she growled, and then she kissed me. That shut me up. In the middle of the kiss, she murmured, let's have a baby. And so, sometime later, Mia and I had a beautiful baby girl. Sometimes I still worry. What if that damn system comes back one day and tells me I don't belong here and yanks me out of this world? What would Mia do? But whenever I have that thought, Mia hears it and comforts me. Don't worry, honey. No matter where you go, I will always find you. But what if I go somewhere that isn't even in this universe? Then I'll wait for you right here, she'd say. I won't go anywhere, so that when you finally come back, I'll be the first person you see.